All right, next question up here. So first thing we do, regardless of how long or short the problem is we're going to read that question sentence. So here it says, what is the sale price? Okay, so everyone, when we read through very briefly, we're talking about this backpack. It's on sale for 20% off, and we want to know the sale price. Everyone, when we are asking for the sale price, you tell me, sale price, does that mean the amount of the discount or the amount that we pay? What does that mean to you? When we're looking for sale price, is that the amount that we get discounted or is that the amount that we pay? Yeah, that's the amount that we pay. Right. That is the amount that we pay. And my friends, remind me again, when we are applying a discount, what operation are we thinking about there? Yeah, we're thinking about subtraction. When we're receiving a discount, we're paying less. So let's keep that in mind while we go through these motions. We're talking about this backpack that originally costs $55, and we see that it's on sale for 20% off. So everyone, I'm going to mark that 20% off as the percentage of the discount. Let me show you how using our formula and main idea properly is going to give you a confident setup. Check this out. So my formula is the percent multiplied by the original amount. That's going to equal the result. Now pay real close attention here because this is where a lot of light bulb moments are going to come on. I'm going to solve this problem in two ways. The first one is going to be very straightforward, very easy to understand. And the second way, if the first way makes sense, the second way is going to blow your mind if you haven't done it this way yet. So here we go, everybody. First way is like this. Let's just go ahead and say we plug in that 20%. Let's just throw it in there. Here we go, 20%. So everyone, remind me again, that 20%, what does that represent again? That 20% represents what again? It represents the discount. That is correct. And everyone, yes or no, true or false, the percent that you apply is the result that you get. True or false? That is true all the way. So this is the connection I'm trying to show you here. If we decide to just throw in the 20% discount, when we calculate the result is going to be the dollar amount of the discount. Everyone, can you tell me if we did it that way, would that be the final answer? Would this number that we get here be the final answer? No, it would not. Because remember, we want the sale price. We want to know what we pay. If I calculate the amount of the discount, I'm not done. And before I continue that thought, let me go ahead and just calculate and then show you with that example. Here we go. The original cost of the backpack, $55. Watch and learn here. I got you. So what we're going to do is we're going to move that decimal place over twice to the left. So that becomes 0.20, which again is the same thing as just 0.2. And then we have 0.2 times 55 equals whatever. Let's go ahead and calculate here. 55 multiplied by 0.2. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. And then 5 times 2 is 10 again. Carry the 1 is 11. Don't forget though, we're dealing with a decimal, so we bring the decimals back. And that becomes an 11. So right here, everybody, 0.2 times 55 became 11. Now, here's where a lot of people might get confused. You might calculate this, you get your 11, you see that that's answer choice B, but that's not the answer. Simply because, everybody, we calculated the discount. We wanted the sale price. So to get that sale price, everybody, like we said before, that's subtraction. So right over here, I've got $55 minus the amount of the discount, which was $11, and that's going to leave us with the correct final answer, the sale price of 44. That's how we would get the correct final answer. Now, pay attention though, pay very close attention, because I'm going to show you a different way, a second way of doing this, and this way is going to be, well, hey, what if I don't want to do the subtraction at the end? Is there a way for me to just set up my formula so that I get the correct answer from the beginning much faster? The answer is yeah, absolutely. We can absolutely do that, and I'm really excited to show you. So what I'll do first is I'm going to move this calculation out, and then I'll just take what we've written so far here. I'll just make it slightly smaller and push it to the left. And I'm going to take the right side of the screen here to show you a little bit of math magic. So let me show you this, everyone. Let's talk about that percent we had, because our formula says percent times original equals the result. Now, remember that our main idea is that this percent and this result represent the same thing. So I want to find a way, check me out, I want to find a way for this here to represent what I pay, the sale price. How can I get my percent to be the percent that I pay? Let me show you. Everyone, we all know this question, but answer it anyway. What percent represents the whole thing of anything? What percent represents the entirety? 100%. Absolutely. So think about it like this, my friends. If we have 100%, that represents the whole thing, the original $55, the original amount. If I am doing a 20% off, a 20% discount, we already said it, we would subtract. Watch this. If I took away 20%, everyone, what percent am I actually going to be paying? Because I'm not paying 100, I'm not paying the whole thing, and I'm not paying 20%. That's how much I'm receiving off. So if I do 100 minus 20, oh yeah, that's 80%. That is how much I'm paying. I am paying only 80% of the original. Don't believe me? Remember our final answer right over here, 44. Let's see if we still get it. Watch this. 80% multiplied by that 55. Look at what happens here. We're going to do 55 multiplied by 0.8 because we'll move it once, twice to the left. So we have 0.8 or 0.80. And then when we put in the work here, 5 times 8 is 40, carry the 4. 5 times 8 is 40, carry the 4 is 44. We have one decimal place that we bring back right there. And there it is. Our correct final answer, the amount that we pay. Boom, we can get that correct in one shot instead of having to calculate and then calculate again. We can actually just get it done in one shot if we know how to use our formula. The percent that you apply is the result that you get. So long story short, if you're trying to find the sale price, well, then you want to put in the percent that you're paying to get the amount that you're paying. That's the biggest thing about this formula. If you understand the consistency and how it works, it can be a very fun formula to use in many situations.